Hello and welcome back to the Gate series. Today we're going to be talking about Gate 13. This is the gate of the listener. This gate comes off of the G center or identity center, and it is in the channel of the prodigal or a design of the witness. This gate is also known as the 13th gene key, and that is called listening through love. Gate 13 is also representative of the hexagram 13 in the Chinese I Ching, which is called the fellowship of man. Gate 13 is in the channel 1333, which is the design of a witness. It is in the collective abstract circuitry of the human design body graph, and it is about sensing. So someone with the gate 13 activated will likely be that person people go to and share their secrets or just come to you with their stuff. The gate 13 is about being able to listen deeply and being a listener to yourself and to others through this sensing circuit. It is a process of abstract reflection of the past, and it represents openness. It has a lot to do with the way that we process the past and hopefully learn from it. The shadow expression of the gate 13 is discord, and that is really the chemistry of pessimism. When experiencing the 13th key at a shadow frequency, it manifests as the inability to listen and learn from experiences. The shadow of pessimism is deeply rooted at an unconscious level, and it is a belief that collectively we cannot make the changes needed to create a peaceful and sustainable world. And this is rooted in the experiences of the past, in our history. Let me share a quote from Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys. Nature is preparing a new kind of human being. Nature as a whole has learned and listened to her past experience, and through us, she will create the giant leap that is needed to free us from a web that we have no hope of escaping. Nature will create a human in whom the art of listening will no longer have to compete with raw desire. In a single, unprecedented, and radical sweep, she will do this by killing off desire itself. So I'd like you to think about that quote for a moment and what that could possibly mean to you if you have the gate 13 activated, and even if you don't, because to me, I see that as our desires are always, our emotional desires and our unconscious desires are always in competition with the better good or the highest good of ourselves and the world. And so it is required by nature to evolve out of that state. So there are two ways that this shadow manifests, and it manifests as repressive or reactive. So the repressive expression of this shadow is permissive. And this looks like pretending to be empathic or sympathetic to a situation or a person, but you're really not able to truly listen. It is like only hearing instead of actually listening. And it feels like disengaging from the conversation and suppressing your own emotions in an attempt to feel safe, which is not actually genuine safety. So this could be like someone comes and shares their story with you, and you really appear to be, engaged and listening and sympathetic, but on the inside, you're completely checked out. The reactive expression of this shadow frequency of discord in the gate 13 is narrow-mindedness. So this can look like just being disagreeable. So disagreeing no matter what, being very close-minded, and it's deeply rooted in bitterness. And the 13th gift is discernment. Becoming a witness to our desires and being able to remain lucid is how the gift of the 13th gate begins to manifest discernment. This is the development of objectivity and the ability to see patterns without being stuck or identified in personal emotional states. The gift of discernment offers a view of life through a mythic lens. When we can view life through a larger, on a more collective level, and kind of just zoom out, what can emerge is optimism because we're not enmeshed in our own emotions. It is so rewarding to be able to see life through the mythic stories of archetypal energies. Let me share another quote from Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys. Collective myths and fairy tales contain the alchemical codes of evolution, including its various mutations. The stories always pass through dark periods of transition, ultimately arriving at transcendent states of consciousness. This is why discernment leads to optimism. With your gift of discernment, you don't just see the symbols, you live them in your own life, which is why they bring you such optimism. So I'm curious, do you have the gate 13 activated within your chart? Or do you know someone who does? And how are your listening skills? Do you notice yourself in the permissive or repressive shadow states of the 13? I would love to hear from you in the comments below.